I'm sorry, y'all. Sometimes I get emotional talking about my daughter because I do miss her. Rest in peace. I do miss her. But I started making money off of her or whatever. I did get sick of Cora eventually. She was always around. She was irritating me. When she was like a month and a half old, she was constantly flirting with my boyfriend.
Before we start, I just want to say that if anybody is suffering through depression, through anxiety, through suicidal thoughts, there are always help. Someone is always there to help you anonymously. You don't need to say who you are. Just call. The numbers will be at the end of this video when you guys are finished. If you are one of those person who's trying to seek help but doesn't know how to do it, just like these lovely peaches. Let's begin. Video. So normally I'll be all giggity and laughing and happy, before, during my introductions, but this time I'm not. The reason for that is because this lady, Lovely Peaches, seems to need a lot of help. She seems to be like trying to reach out for help. And there's the only way to do so is by clout chasing. And by clout chasing, she's also had put herself in a position where she has gotten a lot of media attention, extremely a lot. And it's not for the good reason. It's not for the right reason. It's not for anything good. Now, she had put out a video stating that she had killed her baby and that she has no remorse. She doesn't care. And she just did it because she was annoyed and she doesn't want to be a mother. And pretty much that all her videos that has surfaced pretty much all negative and not a good thing about them. So she has videos that are out about her not taking baths. She can't remember the last time she washed her booty. Of videos of her saying, like really disgusting stuff, how she has, sexual diseases and a whole bunch of negative things. This is why I think that there's something mentally wrong with this lady. Now, I know a lot of people clout chase and say things and do things, but she has definitely taken it to the next level. And this is why I say she's actually really seeking help. And because she has that issue and she probably been suffering from this mental illness for so long that it became such like a natural reflex to her. All her videos, all her pages are pretty much asking for help.
Because I cut it off early. And you're supposed to let it fall off, which I knew that, but I want her to suffer. So once again, I had did something to her, Cora Miracle. There's so many things I did to her, and since this is my final video, I'm gonna try to get it out there. And there was a lot of things I did to her. I used to pinch her skin. If she woke me up at 3 a.m., I would literally throw her to the I would literally throw her to the floor, or I would pinch her skin really hard, and she would cry. I used to choke her, slap her, punch her, all type of things when she was a few days old. And I did a lot of things to her. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to get it all out there. I did a lot of stuff to Cora Miracle. I used to pinch her skin. I remember one time she woke me up at 3 a.m. and I was really pissed off. So I grabbed her by her arm and I jerked her out of her little crib. I grabbed her arm. I jerked that hoe out her crib. And damn near broke her arm off. And I pinched her skin so hard. I said, bitch, you don't wake me up at no fucking 3 a.m. My family was there, unfortunately, and she screamed so fucking loud.
Guys, the way she's describing the way she hurt her baby and all the stuff that happened, it's like, it's so natural and so okay with her. Like in her mind, she's just like, yeah, so what? I pinched my kid. I did this to my daughter. I did that to my daughter. She was annoying. She was crying, so I threw her against the wall. Like, she is mentally unstable. She should not be around no human. She needs to be put in a straitjacket. She needs to be put away, locked up, sent in the ocean in a box, and with just some breathing with oxygen, and that's it. I know many people would say, don't give her no oxygen, just put her in a box and just throw her in the ocean. I understand, but there's something really wrong with her, so that's one thing that we got to keep in mind. Besides the fact that of her trying to look for sympathy and people to talk more about her, because the more that they talk about her, the higher her number gets. But girl, nobody is liking you right now.
And they ran into my room and they said, what happened to her? And I was like, you know she wakes up every day at 3 a.m. She always wakes up at 3 a.m., like 24/7. Every day she wakes up at 3 a.m. So I was like, she just wakes up at 3 a.m. She always cries at 3 a.m. They was like, well, this is a different cry. She normally not crying that loud. And I'm like, oh, she must be hungry, anything for them not to investigate, because I don't want them to see the pinches on her skin.
If I'm in the house with you and I hear that the baby is crying and it don't normally cry the way that it's crying, I'm going to that child. I don't care if he needs to be fed or not. I'm like, oh yeah, take a break. I'm going to that child. I'm checking, screaming like that. First of all, a good parent could tell the difference in the cries. You could tell if the child is hungry, needs to be changed, or whatever the case is. A good parent, a good grandparents, or whoever, they could tell. So I'm guessing they sort of like used to her shenanigans, or they just not aware of how mental she is. Put this lady in a damn straitjacket. That's what they need to do. I hope this little girl gets justice, and I hope that little girl gets taken away from her, which I believe she already have. And talk, because right now she keeps saying, oh, the little girl is deceased.
So basically I told him I'm going to feed her. I'm going to go warm my bottle and feed her. You guys can go back to sleep, because she was crying really, really loud. And normally they'll take her and bring her into their room and let her sleep in there when she gets fussy at 3 a.m. But I did not want them to see the bruises or the pinches on her skin. So I said, you know what, I'm going to take her, yada, yada, yada. And they looked at me weird, because that was unusual for me, because I always try to avoid being with her at all costs. But anyways, I took her to warm her bottle, yada, yada, yada. That's what happened that specific night.
You guys could just look at her. You could just look at Miss Brittany. You guys could just look at her and know that there is something wrong with her. From her hair, the way she speaks, the way she dressed, the way she acts. Her Instagram is crazy. All her videos are crazy. Her Snapchat are crazy. There's something, she's not right. She is not right. So guys, she was looking for the clout. Now she was looking for clout, and she got it. Tons of videos, tons of talked about, tons. I mean, I guess she had to do something negative in order for her name to start surfacing. And it's sad. You know, you shouldn't have to do that, because now your child is gone and authority wants your ass. And it's just, everything that you're doing right now is causing you your life, period. So.
One time I was with Cora, and I just wanted to do anything to hurt her, and I had pulled her whole entire fingernail off. And it was kind of hard to explain what happened. You know how a lot of times, like, babies' fingernails grow and they say you're supposed to bite the fingernails off? Well, I had to come up with something. I was trying to trim her fingernails, and I made a mistake and took her whole nail off. So it was kind of hard to get out of that one, because of all the times that I did stuff to her and I had to explain what happened. But yeah, that's why I told him what happened. I told him it was a mistake. There was no proof that it wasn't, so everything was fine. When Cora was, I believe she was half of a month old, I did get in trouble because I wanted to go out to this party with some friends. A lot of y'all already know this story, but like I said, since this is part 3, the ending, I am going to get into that. Since even though y'all already know what happened, you can skip 3 minutes ahead. I mean, well, it's like a long story. You could skip 1 minute ahead if you don't want to hear this. But like I said, I had got in trouble because I left her at home by herself.
I'm starting to believe that Shorty just make a lot of stories, excuses, and I guess she watched too much movies in order for her to be telling these stories, because it seems like something that just like naturally happens. So there's no way that you could, in anybody's mind, they could leave a newborn, a new couple of months old child in the crib by herself. I really hope nothing happened to this child. She, is just taken away, and she's just making up these stories just to be headlines and just be popular or whatever the case is. But girl, we don't like you. And the reason why I said that is because you don't never talk bad about a baby like that. You don't never say stuff like that. If you really did hurt the baby, you are a horrible person if you hurt your own child. Horrible. And you deserve everything that's coming to you if something really did happen. But other than that, I do feel like she's only clout chasing and doing all this just so she could be talked about.
And she was on the swinging. And I left her home by herself, and the swing was on the floor, and she was halfway out the swing, and one of the neighbors saw her because I left the door open. So one of the neighbors was passing by with their nosy ass, because a lot of people don't know how to mind their own business. Mind your own fucking business. Stuff that have nothing to do with you, you don't have to worry about it. Mind your own fucking business. But it was somebody who have no motherfucking life, and since they have no life, they called the police because they saw her on the floor and the door was wide open. So I came back home and there was authorities there. But it took me a little while to get out of that mess. I had to talk about things and stuff like that, but I did get out of it. And since she basically got me in trouble because I could have got arrested. So since she got me in trouble, that's when I really started to despise her. When she was like a month and a half old, she was constantly flirting with my boyfriend.
Yeah, you heard right. From the mouth of that crazy nutcase, she believed that a 1 month old is trying to flirt with her man and try to sleep with her man at 1 month old. This lady is freaking retarded. I hope they cut off all her wombs, her eggs, take her whole inside out so she could never breed again. She's mental. She's a waste of human.
She did it for literally months. Like, he would change her diaper, she would be flirting with him, and literally just like looking at him, basically trying to get him to touch on her. So she was flirting with him for a really long time.
On behalf of all women out there, please guys, if you know her information, Send it to me so I could go find this idiot, so I could punch her in her mouth and break all her teeth. How dumb are you? So, what? No, this is why I said this is all clout chasing. This doesn't make any sense. What she's saying makes absolutely zero sense. So some dude is changing your baby, so your baby is flirting with him, asking him to touch her. How? How, you idiot? How? And I really hope she sees this. You are a moron. Come see me. How about that? You're dumb. You don't deserve to have no child. You don't deserve to be around no human. You don't deserve none of that. You need help. I could see that. You have mental issue.
When she was 4 months old, that's when they finally had sex. She lost her virginity. And after that, she basically had sex with my boyfriend. And that's when it all went downhill.
I really want to know just one thing. Who was stupid enough, or who was drunk enough, who was unhuman to allow this thing to breathe, to actually sleep with that? Like, you had to be really drunk. You had to drink a whole bottle of Henny. You had to have drunk a whole bottle of Henny, a whole bottle of Ciroc, a whole bottle of Bacardi, vodka, all mixed into one. Dark liquor, light liquor, mixed with cocaine and everything in order for you to lay it up with that thing and allowed her to have a baby. There's something seriously wrong. I can understand you could be crazy and stuff, but she's talking reckless about her own child. Reckless. I can't stand it.
That's when I was like, you know what, this bitch already got me in trouble with the law. She's sleeping with my boyfriend. So when she was 4 months, that's when they finally had sex. And that's when I was like, all right, you want to be a little slut, then we gonna benefit. Mama gonna benefit off of you being a slut. So I started making some money off this little hoe, so she want to be a little dirty ass little hoe.
I want you guys to keep in mind that that's the baby she's talking about. All that craziness talking about she slept with her man at 1 month and she wanted her boyfriend to touch him. She was trying to stalk her boyfriend. All this craziness, pinching and throwing and leaving her alone. This is the precious child she's talking about. This is why I say this lady is literally just chasing clout. She just want everybody to talk about her. She want to make the news. She want to make the newspaper. She just want to be the talk of the town, the talk of everything, #1 trending. That's what she wants. But she's freaking sick in the head. Sick. I don't care if it's a little story or whatever, but you don't talk about a precious child like that. There are people who are suffering and who are unable to have kids, who will die to have a kid, and you over here abusing that. And they have every right to take her womb away. She should not be allowed to ever have a kid ever again.
So I started pimping her out. I started making money off of it. I want to make sure I don't miss nothing in this story because I don't want to talk about this no more after this. So I started pimping her out. I started making that change. I started making that little money off that little hoe. So I was getting paid big bucks. Men were paying like $300 a piece. Some of these men were paying $300 a piece, close to $500 a piece, just to get some pussy from that hoe. Cora was a really pretty young lady. I'll give her that. She was a really pretty young lady. She was thick. She had hips. She had a big booty. So all the men was loving her. She was bringing in some cash at one point. That hoe was paying the rent. So I was like, well, I do have a cause for her now. Now she can make me some money or whatever. So I started making money off that bitch. And
Alright guys, so I'm gonna let you guys watch the rest of her shenanigans, of everything that she revealed, I guess, came forward about. Just leave your comment down below. Let me know exactly how you feel. How I feel about the situation is that I'm disgusted by this human being who actually turned out to be a mother. I'm disgusted by her. And on behalf of all mothers, I don't know what the hell she's suffering, but she needs Jesus, because the way she's talking right now, that's how the devil talk. The devil is working on her. And just let me know your feedback, how you really feel. Do you really think that she's doing this for clout? Do you really think that she's actually crazy in the head? Which I do, all of the above. And let me know if you think that, exactly what's been happening. Do you think that they would allow her to see her child again if the child is still alive, whatever, Until then, guys, just enjoy the rest of her video.
I'm sorry, y'all. Sometimes I get emotional talking about my daughter because I do miss her. Rest in peace. I do miss her. But I started making money off of her or whatever. I did get sick of Cora eventually. She was always around. She was irritating me. My family started watching her less because they had stuff to do. They had to go to work. They wanted to go out. They're getting older. They want to go out. So I did start to get sick of her. And I decided I wanted to get rid of her for good. But what I meant by that is that I wanted to sell her into sex trafficking to get her out my hair. I started meeting up with pimps. I had people that would buy her for a certain amount of time, and I was working with other pimps, and I was trying to sell her into sex trafficking completely. But we was trying to get to a certain price and making sure that I get paid off, because that's my fucking property. So I want to make sure that I got paid off at least enough money for you to keep her for good. But we were still talking about pricing or whatever. And Cora passed away not long before her birthday. So she was going to be sold, like probably on her birthday, she was going to be sold. But unfortunately, she didn't make it. Let me tell y'all what happened. And this is where I'm getting through. So I was going to sell her into sex trafficking. I was making a good amount of money off of her. I had people that was working with me that was helping me find clients, because he didn't want the police to get onto what we was doing. And you know, you could easily meet somebody that's pretending to be a client, and then there's people out there who don't know how to mind their own business, so they're gonna try and call the police or whatever. So that's why I was working with actual pimps who actually already had regular clients that they knew wasn't going to snitch. So I actually did need a business partner, and I had one. But I feel like Cora, she probably could have been worth a lot. I could have actually had so much if it wasn't for what happened. But she just had to catch an attitude. She had to get smart with her mouth. I did used to beat Cora a lot. I used to punch her, kick her, all type of shit, put her on the floor, step on her legs on purpose when nobody else was home. And eventually my punishments did start to get a lot harsher. I'll admit that. My punishments got a lot harsher than they used to be. So I used to run really hot bath water, which I actually posted a video of some of these actions. Some people haven't. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. It was in the past. I did post a video of me slapping her once. I deleted it. A few people got it. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. It's over with. I also posted a video of her in the bathtub. I used to run really, really hot bath water, and I would let her sit there for a little while. I used to pour bleach on her, but not that much, because like I said, you ain't trying to get arrested, you know, you ain't trying to have all these marks on your child's body. But I was, at one point, I was going to kill her intentionally, because I didn't kill her intentionally, but I was going to kill her intentionally, but I didn't know that I could make a lot of money off of her. So eventually, since I wasn't going to kill her, my punishments got a little rough. I would put her in hot scalding water, throw Clorox on her. I'll pinch her really hard, harder than I used to, because I used to just pinch like, this even hurts me, so I can only imagine. But my punishments got pretty bad, to the point where I was putting her in hot scalding water and basically just torturing her, and I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching her get fucked a lot of times. I would actually smile as she would get fucked, and I could see the pain in her eyes. She would look at me with so much pain and fear in her eyes, and all I would do is just smile. I was like, bitch, your mom not finna help you, hoe. Don't be calling on mommy for help. Mom don't give a fuck about you. So I didn't give a fuck. I said, keep raping that little hoe. So I was like, and eventually these messages went viral, so I don't really want to get into that. But I did post messages about what was going on and what I was doing, and it kind of blew up, and I was not expecting that, because my account was on private. But then again, you know, a lot of people don't know how to mind their own fucking business. So since people don't know how to mind their own fucking business, some of my personal messages with the pimp got out and went viral. You could literally find them anywhere. Those messages are literally everywhere. They're everywhere. They're on Google. So I'm not going to pull them up, because I don't really give a fuck. It was a long time ago. It's on the internet, so why should I show them? So anyways, my personal messages with the pimp eventually went viral. Some of our personal messages, personal phone calls. I was able to get myself out of trouble with that, and I eventually continued doing what I was doing. Basically, Cora was going to make me rich, and we got into it so bad one day. We was arguing, and I mean, she deserved it, so I can't really get sad, because she deserved it. But we was arguing back and forth, and I punched her. And that wasn't the first time I ever punched her. I never punched her that hard, but things just got really out of control. So I punched her, and we was just arguing back and forth, and she didn't fight me back. She was literally just laying on the bed, looking at me, slapping her. I was whamming that hoe. I was beating that hoe up. And she can't fight though, so she ain't fight me back, because that hoe cannot fight. Not one time has Cora ever put her hands on me. She can she can go hard at the mouth, but she can't fight. She can't back up none of the shit she say. So she ain't fighting me back. She was just looking at me, beating her. She was just crying her eyes out, literally crying her freaking eyes out. So I was beating that hoe up. She was crying her eyes out, and I kind of went overboard, and I got so freaking angry with her, and I grabbed her by the throat, and I choked that hoe for about a minute straight. Eventually I started to see her lose motion in her eyes, so I did stop, and it wasn't intentional, so it's not my fault. Mistakes happen as parents, and I'm a teen mother. Teen moms are terrible parents. This is what happened this is what happens to teen mothers. This is what happens to teen mothers. Teen mothers aren't good moms. I'm proof of that. So anyways, she started to lose motion in her eyes. She had 8 not that long before this fight. She wasn't burped, so I'm guessing that probably has something to do with why she stopped breathing. It got to the point where she couldn't breathe. Hey, y'all. I really hate doing this during the video, but it was important. But it got to the point where she couldn't breathe. I tried everything to help my little girl, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. I couldn't get her to breathe. I tried CPR, and she just wasn't breathing, and I figured that I would go to sleep, and this was just all a bad dream. And when I woke up, she'd be there, you know, crying. When I'll wake up to her crying, but I'm sorry, I can't even pretend to be sad. I'm a little sad about the money. Now that will make me cry. Let me talk about how much money I lost from this. Now I can cry. Let me talk about how much money I lost from this situation. Now I can cry and be serious and cry, okay? But I'm not worried about losing her. It's about all the money I lost. But I tried CPR. I tried everything, and I just couldn't bring her back. And I'm not going to ever talk about what happened after that, because to protect myself from, you know, they can't do nothing to you if they can't find stuff. So I'm going to stop there with this story. I'm not going to tell about what happened after that or what I did. I left it where it's at. I left the story where it's at. That's as far as the story as I'm ever going to go. I'm never going to tell anything that happened after that. So, oh well. Page, chapter closed. But yeah, Cora did go through a lot while she was here. I do want to apologize, and not to anybody, because it was mine, and I don't owe nobody an apology, but I do want to apologize to her, because maybe I could have handled it different. Maybe if I would have handled my anger, and I somehow feel like I failed you, but you should have just not got smart with me. I'm sorry. I really want to get all of this off my chest. As to the things people say about me, the rumors that have been made up, don't believe something about me, and I do want to say this, don't believe something about me unless you hear it from me. I never spoke on this situation before, but yet other people came up with reasons they might have not seen Cora in a while, why she hasn't been posting recent pictures. They came up with their own theories on why I haven't been posting Cora. None of these things I ever said out my mouth, and now you know why. So I will continue to post pictures of my baby, because I'm grieving, and now you know what happened, because you can't find out what happened from anybody else but the actual mom. So don't believe stuff you hear from other people, because they don't know me personally, and they can't speak on my life, especially on something that they know nothing about. They don't know me personally. They get their information from other people who don't know me personally. So now I'm speaking out, and you're hearing it from my mouth what happened. This is coming from me, the person who was actually there, the mother. Okay? So now you hear it from my mouth, what happened. Okay? Now you have something you can run with. Coming from me, the actual person that we're talking about. I mean, the actual person you be talking about. So now you know what happened, coming from my mouth, the person who was there. So here you go. There you go. Do whatever you want. Say what you want. I don't care. It's over. I'm over it. If you stayed watching this, now you know the truth and what happened, and I'm over it. And I will continue to post my baby, but at this point, I don't want to talk about it no more. Don't bring it up on my Instagram. Don't text me about this on Snapchat. Don't bring it up no more. Just let it rest. Let Cora rest. I at least owe her that, so let her rest. So I'm closing it right here with this video. Let it rest. Let it rest. Thank you for watching. Thank you for actually caring. Remember, you can get in your feelings, but you can't actually get mad because this has nothing to do with any of you. None of you know me personally. None of you knew Cora personally. So this doesn't affect you at all. Keep in mind that this doesn't affect you at all before you try to get angry or pass judgment.
As you can see from her Instagram, this is her main Instagram, and she's still posting up, and apparently she's not locked up or anything. So this is why I say the cops must have follow up with her story and see that she's just doing that just to do it. Now, whatever the circumstances may have been, I believe that she might have done something stupid that got her child taken away from her at the moment, or her child is just not with her right now, or the child could be with the grandparents or whoever. Now, I don't believe that she really did hurt that child. I believe that she's doing all this just for clout. If you see, she has a whole bunch of posts. Now, as you can see on her page, she has the child up. The child is posted up everywhere, and she seems to look like a really good mother. So I don't, like I said, maybe her page wasn't doing so well, and, you know, and clout chasing is like her only way out. But for her to be putting all these obnoxious, crazy things and in these crazy videos, I really believe that, you know, there's something really wrong with her. There's something definitely wrong with her. If you don't think so, then it is what it is. There might be something wrong with you. But I definitely feel that everything that she's doing right now is clout chasing. That's it. She's just looking for numbers. She's looking for everybody to talk about her. And that's exactly what's been happening. And you wanted the clout? Boom, here it is. Here's your clout. You're chasing it. Now you caught up with it. Hope you're happy. But you are a horrible person. Alright guys, thanks for watching. So hopefully that whoever needs help or have some type of mental problem, depression going on, or whatever, just seek the help that you need. That's it. Just seek the help that you need before it's too late. Now, there will be some numbers that if you really do need to ask someone for help, it's okay. Don't be ashamed of it. Asking for help is always the first steps. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.